Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folari, and my guest this morning is Mr. Curtis Adigba, a legal practitioner and commentator on public affairs. Thank you very much once again, Curtis, for coming. A very troublesome weekend. Just as of this morning, most Nigerians will be hearing about 200 students kidnapped again. You know, I mean, another incident of kidnapping. 200 students this time in Niger State. But before that, on Saturday, was the assassination of Barrister Ahmed Goodluck, who, you know, an APC chieftain. In fact, he was the chairman of the APC committee for the 2019 to select the 2019 governorship election that brought in Mr. Hope Uzodinma.
Yeah.
Now, on Saturday, he was murdered. And I don't know if it's strange. It's very, very unusual because this is not terror, the way we've become used to terror. He was targeted. He was not the only person in the vehicle. He was nevertheless eliminated, and they left the other two people and went on their merry way. The presidency has since spoken out, and Mr. President has said that every resource at the disposal of government will be deployed in this regard to get the people who killed, Barrister Ahmed Goodluck. How did this sort of play out to you when you heard that a person had been killed in such circumstances, a politician of such high standing in that manner? What occurred to you?
Well, first and foremost, let me offer my sincere condolences to the family of Ahmed Goodluck. No Nigerian deserved to be killed the way he was killed, murdered or assassinated. So my heart goes out to his family, and may God comfort them in their moment of grief. What this telegraphed for me as a person is that we still do not understand the weight of certain things that we do in this part of the world. I have people who have called me to say, why did Mr. President step into the arena this time around when in the past he had been loudly silent on other killings? And what I say to them is simple. The president is going ahead of the curve, knowing the potential danger and misinterpretation this killing could be subjected to. Because some people sitting somewhere in Adamawa, in the northern part of the country, will say, well, they killed our son, and we have the responsibility to respond. And so just imagine if some people in a reprisal killing decide to go out there and target some other innocent people who are just going about their businesses. That wouldn't speak well and wouldn't augur well for the country. And so I think the president decided to weigh in personally and to assure the people of Adamawa and other people in the north that this killing will be investigated and the killers will be found. He's trying to calm down things. And we've seen that already. The police already announced that following a tip-off from bystanders about the direction that the attackers went, they came in 4 vehicles, that they chased after them, and they found them. They had seized a trailer containing onions from some northerners, according to police reporting, and they were distributing the onions to the people they found in the community. When the police team arrived, and they were able, in a shootout that took place, they killed 6 of those suspected killers of Ahmed Goodluck, because they said they opened fire on them first, and then they had to return fire, and in the process, they killed them. They also said that the driver who was taking Goodluck to the airport had identified some of these men as those who killed Mr. Goodluck. And they are also saying that these guys are members of IPOB/ESN. So this is how far the investigation has gone.
And the police have reported.
And the police have reported, yeah.
First of all, okay, there you have it. You know, we've just finished talking about this.
It's not 4 men. Okay, the reporting said 6.
Yeah, but you know how reporting can be fluid in this kind of a situation. As you said, you think the presidency or the president is going ahead of the curve. So before you reach there, one needs to get in on this act, because as you said, there are all these worries about the interpretations that could be given. But only God knows what happens. Maybe more reporting from the police will put us in a better picture, because it was said that he left his hotel without informing the police for the kind of courtesy of escorts that he would have been provided with. Not only that, it is reported that he took what they, I think, calling an unusual route. Not that it was illegal, but it was an unusual route. Only God knows what the police means by that. Again, we'll probably get some clarity on that. Yes. And then most damningly, he was selected. He was selected and dealt with, and the other people were left, apart from their trauma, without a scratch.
This was no doubt clearly a targeted killing. And it didn't go down without some level of intelligence gathering. They knew he was in Imo State. They knew he was going to get to the airport at a certain point, and probably watched him and knew the vehicle he was traveling in and who he was traveling with. So I think the police also...
But he's always been, he's been frequent in Imo State over time, yes, hasn't he? So reports say.
I think there is some level of relationship between him and Hope Uzodimma, considering the role he played when a candidate was supposed to be selected for the party. Ahmed Goodluck was the leader of the team who ensured that Hope Uzodimma or carried out the assignment in which Hope Uzodimma emerged. And then they're personal friends from what we are hearing. But the point here is, look, is it everyone in Imo State that goes to the airport that is accompanied by security men? You see, that's the unusualness of the situation. And that is why this couldn't have happened without some level of intelligence. Somebody knew about him, that he was in Imo State. They knew he was going to travel at a certain point. Exactly. They knew he was going to take a particular route. Exactly. Now, why was the route unusual? In other words, it's not a normal route.
Yeah.
So why did he take an unusual route? Did he get any information that he was a target?
Yeah.
And that some people were after him?
That scenario jumps to mind. Was he applying security and being evasive?
Thank you. And so if he took the unusual route, how did the assailants then get to know that he was on the unusual route? And they came with 4 vehicles. A Helios, a Lexus, a Toyota Camry.
All of it is reported in the public
space. Yes, all of them were reported. And we find this in the report. And then when they stopped the vehicle, they identified him and killed him alone. So it tells you clearly that this was something that was well planned and carried out.
Well, to what purpose? Again, because there's this whole matter of that when police investigate, and by the time all you lawyers and police people get in on the act, you begin to look for motive. This is something that people are going to want to find.
I don't think the motive is difficult. If you look, the motive is political. What is the motive for burning down police stations in this same part of the country? What is the motive for burning down INEC? Okay? It's very clear that, look, we are not part of you, and we don't want your civic and military authority in our land. I'm not saying that is what the entire people are saying, but the group of boys who are orchestrating this, they're simply saying, look, this is civil disobedience. We are not part of you, so don't bring your institutions to our place.
At what stage do we have to begin to think along the lines of an emergency, declaring an emergency in a situation like this? Because surely they can't let go of control, and it looks like, if we're not careful, people begin to interpret that.
I think we're already in an emergency. What other emergency do you need to be declared? As I speak to you, the military is engaged in military assignment in 34 out of 36 states. The police is overstretched. That's even if you believe that the number that is available for security, for securing the country, you understand. Now, we don't have up to 400,000 policemen in the country. And I can tell you not up to 200,000 are involved in protecting the country. You see individuals, celebrities, highly placed individuals, some of them carrying 15, 10. I saw a video of one Nigerian celebrity attending a marriage ceremony or something in the part of the country. And then he was in a car. You had about 12 mobile policemen on both sides of his car running after his vehicle. And you begin to, when you look at this abnormal kind of situation, who is the person? What does it do for this country that they should carry such number of mobile policemen with him?
Well, unfortunately,
when the same people are not available to provide security for other Nigerians in areas that they are more critically needed.
I guess that's the commercial side of the police, by which I mean that apparently you can pay for such services. Maybe not just everybody can walk in. You can pay for such services. You might demand a dozen. I want 6 here, I want 6 here.
If it gets 1 or 2.
Prince Lasso Adele in the UK. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Uncle Yori, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Prince. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you so much. I would like us to make a quick contribution on your discussion. Yeah, actually, we that were in abroad, we are sick about Nigeria for what is going on now. What are the government is doing? What are the security they are putting in place for all the citizens of Nigeria? This is getting too much. Everyone has a phobia to come to Nigeria to invest. We cannot be listening all the time, Uncle Yori, and be scared. The innocent man has been gunned down. Many violent every in the state. There is nothing the government have done so far. This is so ridiculous. Nigeria is a country, Nigeria is a giant of Africa that has a lot of many resources. Government can contribute to empower the youth, to give them a job, to give them to what they need. The government should go out there, address the public, all the citizens of Nigeria.
All right. I hear you, Prince. I want to thank you very much for calling in, Prince. Well, I got to free up the lines. We really appreciate your call. Well, your speculation, and I use the word advisedly, was that this whole thing is political. Now, so we're now, you see, the problem with a thing like this is that there's this copycat attitude that we seem to have. Look how kidnapping started, and now it is thought that bandits, they're making a distinction between terrorists and bandits now. They're popularly known as bandits in the north of the country, have joined in on the act. Now, this is it a new era where political killings might indeed be in our future if this is ultimately determined to be a political killing? But I don't know what else it could be. Nothing was stolen. He was solely targeted, and then they went away.
Okay, so let's look at it. Political killing has always been with us, and it will continue to be with us. Don't forget that we're approaching, for politicians as far as they're concerned, they're already ahead of the curve. 2023 is here. The permutations have started. Those who want to contest for different political offices are already in the field campaigning and all that. You are going to see more of this. But here's the point. Why is our election a contest of bullets and not of ideas? If this is about representing the people and going out there for the benefit of the people, why do we have to kill to get in there?
Exactly.
It makes no sense.
Because this is intimidation. It's like they're signaling that if anybody comes here and does, quote unquote, what they want, without considering what we want, you see, it could be a fatal decision.
Yeah, when people take emotional decisions, one philosopher said that emotion is a slave to reason. When people take this emotional decision and act, they never think of the consequences.
Indeed.
And those who will pay the price are not the perpetrators.
Well, nevertheless, these perpetrators, thank God Mr. President has promised it. We need to be seeing who they are very, very, very soon.
Yeah.
And hopefully that will so. I want to thank you, Comrade Obanaku, did I get that right, in Abuja, for holding on for a while.
Good morning,
go ahead.
Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir. Go ahead now, please.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. Mr. Curtis.
Good morning.
Oh, yes.
Please continue.
Thank you so much. It's okay. Look, especially on this Goodluck killing.
Yeah.
I think there should be a thorough investigation to it. You know, we should not just sit down and say some few persons have been killed without even knowing those who sent them out. Look, especially in Imo State, you know, there was a crisis between the former governor, even governors, the Hopus Odima himself as governor, Rocha Sokorosha, who wanted to install his own son-in-law, and even the outside PDP governor. So within them, let us know what is really happening. What is happening within them? Why would somebody must be aware that Goodluck was in that hotel when he was going out, and the unusual route that cabman took. So we should be able to get them and not just kill some persons, and at the end of the time you come and tell us that you have killed people and this thing will just go like that. So let us know what really happened.
Indeed.
Then we'll now know where we'll start from.
Yeah.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much for calling in.
Who is the driver? What is his pedigree? Who does he associate with?
These are things that the police
Look at
will
his
do all
telephone.
over.
Who did he call within that period? Who has he been in touch with? Who are the other two persons that were in the vehicle with Goodluck? What do they know about his movement?
These are no doubt questions.
Who are these people?
Police investigators
Yes.
will
Are
be
they
pondering.
his friends? Okay, did they enter Imo State with him, or he met them in Imo State? Or are they co-passengers going to the same airport? Do you understand what
Yeah. So these are very basic questions, but it seems, well, let me know, sir. Mr. Kesandu, good morning, sir. Thank you for calling in.
Uncle Yore, greet you.
Thank you for calling.
Good morning, our guest.
Good morning.
It is
Mr.
with
Adiba.
pain that I called from Imo State this morning. For the past 2-3 days now, we've been indoors, and this is not the Imo we've all known for.
Yeah.
Imo State is one peaceful state that everybody craves to come. I remember those days in my NYSC days. People want to come to Imo State and visit Imo State because of our hospitality. We've just lost it. It is so painful. As I speak to you, I'm inside the room crying. Nobody goes outside. This is how painful. Deaths all over the places. Young people are being killed all over the places. This is not the Imo we're talking about. I am appealing to the conscience of the government. Let us go back. See, we need thorough investigation about all this thing that is happening in our state. This is not the Imo we used to know. Everybody can attest that this is the most peaceful state in Nigeria. How did we lose it? In fact, by 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, you can go to Imo freely. Go to hotels, go to eateries. It is free. How did we lose it? Young people are being murdered every day on the streets of Owerri. Go to the FMC Owerri. They are even complaining. Corpses are littered all over the places. Government must take responsibility. This is their primary responsibility of protesting us. Any failure to protest us, you failed in your responsibility. We need to have a thorough investigation. Nobody should come out quickly to say anything. Let us go back home and take care. Know what exactly is this problem. You know, sir, you mentioned something about the guests. You mentioned something about elections and killings. Let me tell you, this is why we're saying we need to have a fresh constitution or something, a constitution of the people, by the people, and for the people. We want to have a constitution that will make these public offices less attractive. It has to be very, very less attractive. So that anybody going there, you should know that you're going to serve the poor people. Anything short of service, we take exception to it. We're not happy with these things. It is painful. My heart bleeds.
Thank you very much for calling in. Indeed, the hearts of a lot of Nigerians, many Nigerians.
The Constitution can make political office unattractive, but can it make power unattractive? That's the point. That's why the mindset change or attitude change that we've been talking about is important. How do people perceive government? That's the key to solving our problems. Is going to government about service or to pursue personal interests? Once you can resolve this issue, you are home and dry.
And a lot of Nigerians have...
you understand?
They have a notion which of the two.
That's it.
Which of the two it is with most of the politicians.
And do you know that even people who tell you about the interests of the people as a means to get to power, as soon as they get there, they forget about the people.
You know,
and then the people can't punish them. Why? Why the people can't punish them fast enough? Because they understand what the people need. And so they stockpile a lot of it. And as election comes close, You know, like somebody asked me a question. I get questions from all people. He said, sir, what do you think is the role of celebrities in people winning election? Because I see a lot of Nigerian politicians with celebrities when they want to run for office.
Yeah.
And I asked him a question. I said, can you show me any Nigerian celebrity that can get you to vote for a particular candidate? He said, none. I said, so that's your answer. The thing is, until people have something to expect, do you understand? When you talk to people on the street and say, look, why is it that you collect this small money from politicians to vote for them? They say, that's the only time we see them.
That's the only time.
Once we voted for them, we don't see them anymore. So this is the only thing we can get from them. Let's get it.
It's a crazy notion, but you're very, very right.
Yes,
and a lot of Nigerians know it. Miriam in Abuja, good morning, ma'am.
Hello, good morning, Uncle Yuri.
Thank you very much for calling in. Good morning.
Yeah. Uncle Yuri, I'm so glad I got you. Because what is going on is happening. What is going on is heartbreaking. What is going on in this country today? In fact, you know, I was talking to some people and we are wondering, is there any government in place in this country? You mean somebody of the caliber of President Goodluck will go to a place like Owerri and just get killed just like that, and nothing will happen just like that? You see, these are the things that have been happening everywhere in this country, and nobody is saying anything about it. It's happening. People are being killed on a daily basis. Don't we have a government of people? When did we become like this in this country? It's so disheartening. It's so hard. Nobody is safe. Nowhere is safe. Just yesterday, 200 students were kidnapped in a school in Niger State.
That's right.
What are we doing about it? What is this government doing about it? Uncle Yuri, please, we need some solution. We need answers to this question. We need, is our president alive? Is our president in control? Does he know what is happening? We cannot continue to make cases for, so we keep making a case for our president. We keep giving him excuses. I mean, is this how we're going to go on in this country?
Well, thank you.
How long can we go on like this, Yuri? How long?
Thank you very much for calling in, Miriam, and thank you very much. Appreciate your call. And you know, her call, the sentiments that she expressed there, you know, I would dare say, speaking for myself, that's the way a lot of people speak. Not everybody is able to voice it, but people are beginning to wonder, so what exactly is going on here?
I can understand what she's saying, but this is, again, this is part of the problem that we have in this country.
How do you mean?
No human being is more special than the other. You might be higher because you have certain privileges, but that doesn't make you a superhuman. We want a country where anybody will be safe anywhere he is. It doesn't have to be a Goodluck. It doesn't have to be a Curtis Adegba or a Yuri. If you travel to any place, it should be protected. And the fact that Goodluck was not protected and that he was killed like an animal on the street meant that we have a problem. And so that's not about Goodluck alone. That speaks to something greater and more dangerous for all of us in this country. It means that we're not safe anywhere.
And that's the point Miriam was putting out.
She talked about the abduction from Niger School.
Yes.
Let's stop deceiving ourselves. This dichotomy that we try to build so hard about bandits and Boko Haram does not exist. Boko Haram is the same thing as the bandits, because they have seen a lot of profit in kidnapping instead of just going to kill people. All right? Okay? So kidnapping has become an arm of the business that they are doing now, apart from spreading terror, tears, and pain. They go out there to kidnap people for money. That's how they sustain themselves. So those
and the worrying thing is that they are able to do this at will,
because the security system that we have is inadequate, is thinly spread. You can't deploy. We are a large country.
Which gives birth to the other question I think Miriam also touched on, which is, do we have any government? This is the way people feel when they are frustrated. Okay, this is the way people feel when they are scared.
Okay, let me tell you what happens.
This is the way people feel when they can't do anything to protect themselves. They can't go and tell the police that, Mr. Police, police organization, I need six policemen. They can't do that.
So we have We have 36 state governors in Nigeria. We have the president, we have the vice president, we have the military in place, okay? We have the police in place. So you cannot say we do not have a government. What you can say is whether the government is living up to its responsibility.
Okay, I beg your pardon to interrupt you there,
yeah.
Because Ibrahim has been waiting in Ajao Estate. Good morning, Mr. Ibrahim.
Yeah, good morning.
Thank you for calling. Go right ahead, please.
The issue, I was just watching over the security in the country, and especially that of Imo State. If you look at it critically, you discover that as soon as the current governor came into power, he was not having issues with his predecessor. And they started having this misunderstanding in between them. That was when this issue of insecurity escalated to its presentation. So now I think they should call the both of them and see how they can call the two both of them to see if this issue can be settled between the court. The whole issue looks sound political to me, because the way it is going, we don't pray it should go beyond where it is today. Because the situation in the East generally now, it's not well taken care of. Can snowball into a civil war. We don't pray should be that. But I think the current governor and its predecessor should be called and talk to, and call them to others.
Okay.
Talk to their voice.
Thank you very much for calling in, Ibrahim. Really appreciate your call. You see, again, we have this kind of a situation where people, go to this extent because they can't see any further down the road.
Okay, so let's say, for sake of playing the devil's advocate, that Goodluck was killed as a result of the continuously rising temper between the former governor and the current governor. Why should it be Goodluck? Is it because Goodluck is the alter ego of the current governor? Because I've also heard that the current governor planned his killing. It's also part of the story. I'm sure you also heard about it.
Baseless speculations. And what I say baseless, I mean they can't put any proof to it.
There is the third leg that I also heard, which is the PDP angle, that the Emeka Ihedioha group that lost power, okay? Because they see Hope Uzodinma as CBN, they call him Supreme Court governor, that he never won any election. And so they are bitter that somebody who in their opinion did not win an election is the governor presiding over the affairs of the state. And this is why it is dangerous to speculate. We should allow the police to do their job.
Exactly.
The police have come out to say, okay, we have identified some people already and we are still investigating. So let's just wait and not speculate further.
But in the meantime, I know one shouldn't necessarily be emphasizing that. This is getting scarier and scarier, as sort of typified in Miriam's call. You think far and wide and you look at, where is the hope? I need someone to give me hope. This is a situation where, in addition to people saying security is not just government's business, it's all of our business, but we still need somebody to take us by the hand and show us, lead the way, show us that it's not as big a mess as you think it is. But let me quickly, I've been holding on to Patrick. Patrick in Owerri. Good morning, sir. Go ahead now.
Good morning, Yari, and my very good friend. You're quite a good combination. I like listening to both of you.
Thank you very much. Go ahead,
I'm calling you from Owerri, though we're all hiding in our various rooms, not knowing when we're coming out.
That's the way Owerri is now.
Yes, that is it. You can't see a single fly outside, not even a fly. I'm not joking with you. So I can't even report because we're all in our rooms. But that's not why I'm calling. You see, a fish rottens from the head. I was watching the news yesterday when the president, I'm told, came up and condemned Goodluck. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you and your points. Now, I don't know you, but you're hitting the point. There is every Goodluck in every state of the federation. Look at what is happening in Benue. Yeah. Those people that were carried on, headpans and wheelbarrows are different Goodlucks that are not recognized. They are not statistics. They are people's parents. Yeah. People's brothers that are being slaughtered here and there. And what was our president doing in Mali? I just want to go into that. What was he doing in Mali? In America, George Floyd died. The president of America called the family. George Floyd was going to buy cigarettes. That tells you the level he was before he got to that level. We're looking for a president who doesn't gun out his solution. Everything the soldiers go there, clear them, gun. There are certain things, diplomacy, certain few things. Today, Nnamdi Kanu is getting converts, whether you want to believe it or not. Thousands of youth. This is appealing to them. Before now, most people were not taking him serious, especially with all his threats and modus operandi of if you come outside, you die. Some of us who are educated can't take. But today, he's getting converts. He's appealing to the whatever news they want to hear. They feel you can see policemen being killed and people are clapping. And somebody is in Abuja attending Mali, going to settle problem in Cambodia and whatever, and your people are dying, and you're showing less concern. As a matter of fact, Owerri today, people feel that he's calling Goodluck because he's from the north. So they see that apathy, they see that tribalism, they see that, whatever you want to call it, that is increasing. He doesn't care for them. That the only reason he's coming up now is that it's Goodluck. In fact, they were saying that if the chief of army staff crash has happened in maybe anytime, anywhere in the east, then he would have come this place. That's how much he hates them. You need to come out and let them know it's not me, I'm your father. I love you people. You are reminding them of Yaradua. No wonder they have Yaradua Road here. A man that didn't shoot a single gun, but the whole of Niger Delta submitted their arms. This is time leadership plays. Leadership is not all about riding siren. It's all about going and taking obstacles. Right. Shame onto the so-called representatives. And let me finish on Kuyare. And the ones who will come back here tomorrow to say they are contesting election. We are watching them. If it's in the north, you say you are going to Sultan. If it's in Yoruba land, you go for Oni. Where are our leaders in Igbo land and in Owerri? Shame on them. We are waiting for 2023. Come and display your billboards. Shameless fools.
All right then. Patrick, thank you very much for calling in.
You know, when you think about...
A bit angry there, but perhaps understandably.
When you think about...
I don't even want to go to the, the gentleman he spoke about in there, because that's a proscribed organization.
No,
so
I know.
We shouldn't be talking about that kind of...
I was at Imo State some years ago, and I've been there a couple of times. You cannot but admire how peaceful the people are, especially the Wedera Road, which is the very popular road. And things have gotten to the, other than the Otokoto period, where some ritualists were busted for killing some innocent people. Imo State has been a very peaceful state. And for people not to be able to come out of their house,
can you imagine?
I mean, tells you how bad the situation has become. Now, like you said, the fact is that you cannot take leadership away from anything. Leaders set the tone, the right tone, whether it is a defiant tone or it's a calming tone. They have to do that. Unfortunately, I say to people that, look, when you're talking about government, okay, you have to talk about the entire structure in the country. Our leaders have got to do more in reaching out to the people. Look, General Petraeus gave an advice to President Bush. He said, Mr. President, we are not going to be able to kill our way out of Afghanistan. At certain point, we must sit with these people and begin to talk to them. When people are aggrieved, there's what is called the stick and the carrot approach. There's a need to engage and keep engaging. And leaders cannot do that enough, both at the level of the governor, and this is why we talk about local government.
Indeed.
That they must be effective.
One moment. Let me bring in Mr. Adeyemi calling in from Ikorodu. Good morning, Mr. Adeyemi.
Good morning, Mr. Yori.
Go ahead, please.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you.
You see, the failure of the present administration is what is vividly manifesting. We voted Buhari, and the primary assignment of the government is to secure life and properties. If you have failed to be able to secure life and properties of the people, you have failed.
Okay, so it's in that sense that you're talking about the failure. You're talking about failure in security matters.
Yes, because if you build bridges, if you do anything, if there are no people to use them, of what is all of those bridges that you are building? You understand? If there is no security, if people can't go about their businesses, if people are not happy with you, you see, there is passive injustice in this land. Too much of it. You understand? People, somebody like me, I don't feel that the president is my president. I feel he's a Fulani president. I see more of a Fulani president than of a Nigerian president.
Well, you can't be saying those kind of things. Hello?
Look at the patterns of his appointment.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand that. Okay, I just
more of a Fulani president, and he has to brace up. He has to prove people like me wrong. That
Okay.
is not a Fulani president. That is the president of Nigeria.
Indeed.
You cannot play something or nothing.
Okay.
You understand?
All right. Thank you very much for calling in. Appreciate your call. Perhaps one can understand the anger and the frustration, but Muhammadu Buhari certainly is the president of Nigeria, and that needs to be said. But
And there's no Fulani nation anyway.
and there isn't.
So he can't be
just
president
needs to
of
be
Fulani
said.
nation.
But that is not to say that one can't understand the frustration,
Look,
the
want-
agony
let me
that is
tell you-
leading to this kind of talk.
Let me tell you-
it's being said in anger.
I think it's the level of our development and the fact that the people's needs are not being met.
Yeah.
Mr. Yuri,
Yeah.
if you are sick today, you go to the hospital. You're not going to ask about the ethnic group or the religion of the doctor. What is important to you is if he has the skills and the knowledge
Indeed.
to render the medical service that you need to you. If you're also traveling, you're not going to stand at the mouth of the aircraft and say, come on, is this pilot a Fulani, Igbo, Hausa, Idoma, or
Muslim or Christian.
You want to know if he has a good record or if he's going to take you to where you are going.
But we haven't gotten to that
Now,
stage
the
yet.
reason why we have this problem is that we have come to identify public office as avenue for benefits. You understand? But you know there is no data to support even that belief. In the sense that if somebody comes from your place and is the president or is in power, you benefit. Maybe the few people around him and his business fronts will benefit. But the general people, I have not seen it. There's no evidence of it.
That's an issue. Mr. Emmanuel in Abule Egba, good morning, sir.
Hello, good morning.
Quickly, please. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity. What I'm trying to say here is that in Africa, we have a trend that we are not proactive.
Okay.
And that has actually created the situation which we find ourselves. For example, when the whole mess started gradually, Buhari was advised to engage the youth. In the CNN, he said he wasn't going to engage them. There was no money to use in trying to improve anybody's life. But what happened? Today, the same Buhari is using the same money he said he hadn't to go and buy ammunition to go and kill the same people he said he wasn't ready to improve their lives. The question is, who are we trying to deceive now? Because it's obvious that from that act of his, it's like it was intentional. And for 60 years, these people from the Southeast have been dehumanized, treated as if they're not part of Nigeria. For the first time, they are reacting. And instead of us now to understand the entire cost of the whole thing and know how to turn the situation down, they decided to use the military against them. We know very well that this country and Africa, they hadn't listened, except the people picks up ammunition. Now, the youth have taken ammunition. You can see the consequences. These are issues that would have been taken care of many years ago without us getting to this level. So it's unfortunate.
Okay.
We begin to be proactive
all right.
and face our problems.
Okay, Emmanuel.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for calling in.
I think Emmanuel needs to understand that we have a country where
we have to comment on Emmanuel's position.
Everybody's agreed. And if we all take up arms, we will destroy this country.
The answer.
And so to say that the government bought arms specifically because of a certain group, that's not true. I mean, this government, the military has killed more people in the northern part of the country while combating Boko Haram. And we must understand that. Even though this is not the point that people talk about much, the fact is that, except for those who believe that majority of the Boko Haram guys and bandits are not Nigerians, but the fact is that the government has been engaged in a serious battle with them and they are killing them daily. Okay, so
although it is also felt that the extent to which our troops are engaging with Boko Haram, there are people who are still debating it. That the army could take them out, but is not.
It's not true. See, let me tell you, this is not a regular warfare where you know your enemy and then you go face to face. We have
but
a
there have been
situation.
all sorts of controversial policies like de-radicalizing some Boko Harams and absorbing them allegedly into the army.
These are all things you put in a basket. You try there is no guarantee that because someone say to you is de-radicalized and is debriefed, there is no guarantee that the person will not go back and carry up arms again.
Which is exactly what people are saying.
But that doesn't discourage you from trying so many things to get at the group.
Okay.
Look, the point is that you will find people who got into the system, and for whatever disadvantage they had in the same system, they come out of the system. And then the other system they found on the other side, it's also not meeting their expectation. Mm-hmm. So they go back and say, sorry, we made a mistake by going to this place, but we have something to give to you. While we were with them, we got to know a few things about them that we think you will need. So,
you know, the way this has been going on, insecurity is worsening. The unfortunate situation.
Look, let me tell you why it is difficult to deal with this situation. The people that you see as those who are victims of this operation are themselves members or supporters of the same group. Do you understand? Do you understand that in some communities in the northern part of the country, those who go to give information to the military are themselves killed later? Because the bandits or the terrorists will get to know that such a person spoke to the military and identified them.
And they become they
just go out and slaughter them.
They become a snitch.
So yes,
and you know the
so you have this quietness in these communities where people don't want to speak out anymore, and the guys are living in the midst of the people. So you don't even know who is Boko.
Get to know. Is it that you can't trust when you speak to federal authorities like the army, like the police?
Okay, so let me be plain now.
Oh, sorry, hold it, because I realize that I've been holding on to Bernard. Bernard called in from Enugu. We're going to come back to that point. Good morning, Bernard in Enugu.
Yeah, good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, my contribution goes this way. I'm in Southeast, I'm in Enugu now. I'm indoor. So, but what I'm saying is this. This is time for all stakeholders to come to board. There's no war that is won with bullets of guns. We cannot achieve anything by killing each other. So what as the governor of Niger State said yesterday on TV, that there's a vacuum. There's a security challenge in the southeast in particular, or in Nigeria. For some people, non-state actors are filling that vacuum and are getting sympathy from the people. Things that our security agents refuse to do, non-state actors are doing it. Then people applauding them. So what I'm saying in essence, this is time. I see hope. This is time for us stakeholders to come together. What are these people talking about? At least we can negotiate with bandits. They can drive Boko Haram members. Why not these people? There are some people that are feel that they're marginalized. Look at the security chief. A lot of things happen. Why not come to a long table and talk and discuss and find the way? My suggestion is this: both the governors of the Southeast and the opinion leaders and the politicians for the Southeast, they should call everybody to a round table and talk and find out a blueprint and send to the federal government so that this killings will stop.
Okay, Bernard. Thank you for calling in, Bernard. Appreciate your call, Bernard. Really do.
You know,
I wanted you to go back to the question about how safe can people be when you said people have become quiet from helping the authorities, and the bad guys get to know that you snitched.
You know, in those days, there were provisions for you having to drop information to the CIDs or the police authority about suspects that you reasonably believe might be into crime, and for the police to investigate them quietly without anybody knowing. But over time, we got to know that even when you drop that information for people, there are people within the police that have been infiltrated by these criminals, and they'll go out and say, look, this was the person that sent the information to you. This is also beginning to happen in the theater of terror, that the local people themselves no longer feel safe by cooperating with the military. Because these guys are living amongst them, they live normal lives, and then they go out into the bush to attack. So
I like the point you made in relation to an American general advising an American president, and Mr. President, we're not going to be able to fight our way out of this. We've got to talk, because this looks like something that
and you know why he did that
around the table.
The basis for that advice is that what was going on in Afghanistan. What was going on in Afghanistan was not just pure war. It had religion attached to it, ideological. You see, when people believe that in fighting and dying, they have a reward, an eternal reward.
Yeah.
It becomes very, very difficult to get them off.
Yeah, because that's on another level.
You have to offer them something. And that's why it's very, very difficult. Because you see, you find people who are willing to die in the process of pursuing, you know, that eternal goal. The thing that what they are doing...
So that complicates it.
That complicates
it. The logic is totally alien to what most people are thinking of.
Yes.
But I got to quickly bring in Easy. Good morning, Easy. Easy in Yenagua.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for calling in. Go ahead, please.
Uncle Yari, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
Very well, thank you. Did you want to say something?
Good morning.
Yeah.
I want to start by commiserating with the family of Ahmed Goodluck and the people of Adamawa.
Okay.
Ahmed is a seasoned politician, a high-profile citizen, and it's so sad that our security has gotten up to this level. You can imagine where a northerner will visit the east and this kind of thing is happening, and it shows the lack and failure of government on its part to provide security for the citizens of this country. It's so sad, and this is one of the matters on which the APC government clamored on. Until they look at where we are. We can't even talk about economy, we can't even talk about security because security is at its lowest ebb. It's so sad that after 1,800 criminals were released from the prison in Owerri, the government are not talked about recovering or capturing those criminals. And those elements are out there on the streets, perpetrating more mayhem. It's so sad. And I want the economy of the Southeast is being affected. You can imagine a day like today, Monday, a money-making Monday, and the citizens of an entire state asked to stay at home. They shouldn't go out and fend for themselves for a country who we all know what it takes to keep a family of four together. It's so sad. I don't understand where this country is going to. And today, our president is out of the country for international solidarity and diplomatic whatever. You see, so I want to call on the leaders. What is shocking at this level is that the stakeholders and the elders in the Southeast have not come up to contest or to react to these issues. I don't understand.
All right.
So you begin to...
I got to interrupt you now. I'm sorry, but I got to interrupt you now. Thank you very much for calling in from Yenagua there. And also, you know, noting the point we had noted earlier about the situation in Imo, where people are just behind closed doors. But you see, it's so unfortunate. Just like you started off by saying that Mr. President, in being dead serious about this whole matter, is that he's really moving ahead of the curve, and that's the kind of thing that we just heard here, where somebody said for a northerner to be slain in a place like Owerri, and you see, these are the challenges which make the job a lot more difficult. The man, Ahmed Goodluck, he did his job. He did his job when he was head of that APC committee to come up with the primaries candidates. He could have been from anywhere.
He also did his job when he was political advisor to Jonathan.
And he also did his job then.
When he was
now, it just so happens that he's a northerner, and it just so happens that that unfortunate fate met him in that place. But now I better appreciate what you said, that Mr. President was moving ahead of the curve.
Yeah,
when coming out and being emphatic about this man, the people behind this will be apprehended.
And I say this with all seriousness. Mr. President is a class act. It's difficult to follow him. And the reason why I say so is because where you expect him to do certain things, he doesn't, and where you don't expect him to do, he does. And that also opens him up. Whether he does, is damned. If he doesn't, he's damned. This is one president that we all want to micromanage. What he should do at a particular time, in a particular situation. But the truth is that leadership is a challenge when it comes to Africa. And especially in our country. Because you see, you have levels of leadership. And all of them, as a matter of fact, could be proactive in trying to nip things like this in the bud. Now, this kind of our small space power that will demonstrate that we cannot talk to one another, and that if you have any advantage, use it and create misery for others. It's not going to lead us anywhere as a country.
Indeed.
Well, and this is why we need, look, you can always start a fire. You don't know how intensive that fire could become and who is going to condemn.
And where it will travel
now,
through.
this is the time for stakeholders and elders to begin to come together and begin to speak to one another. War is not going to be anybody's friend. I was born at the time during the Nigerian, but I didn't see it.
I know, but you heard about it.
And my mom told me how bad it was, how they had to run into one small shade.
So when people casually
when bombs were dropping,
when people casually say this is where we're heading for civil war, God forbid, it's like people have said you can't survive a civil war twice. We've got to leave it there. There's a lot more to be said. But I want to thank all those who have called in and first of all commiserated with the victim of this, and more importantly those who have also called in to sort of try and understand what's going on in Nigeria. It's we can only wait on the police. They've started out fine. They started out well. They've told us a lot of stuff, and as we speak, they're probably still on it. This is one incident where we will need answers, and as soon as possible, in line with Mr. President's desire on this unfortunate case. So that's our program today. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I'm Yori Falani. Bye-bye for now.